Hi everyone, we're playing Dead Space 3 on Impossible difficulty. Even though it doesn't say it, this is chapter 17. It's called A Strange City. So in this part of the level we're collecting items and powering on that generator. So we can access this bench if we want to. There's an alien artifact right there. And we're going to go through this door here. All in all, this is not too terribly hard of a chapter. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you've got powerful tools, if your rig is, decently outfitted, and you've got armor protection and things like that, and you can bring some skill to the forefront, you shouldn't have much of an issue. So right here, you have to wait until the unitologist does his monologue here, and then we can start accessing the panel with the puzzle on it. We're going to be doing many puzzles like this. They're very easy and quick. This tells you the solution right here if you don't know it, but it'll show it right there. That's the solution coming up. So just put those symbols in the corresponding slots on this machine right here. It looks like I might have skipped over that. I apologize for that. Here we're opening a door. Another cutscene, which I'm going to speed up for everyone's convenience. And then we're going to split up. Carver's going to go to the left. We're going to go to the right. You can't go to the left. There may be a box. Yeah, in fact, I know there's a box with items over to the left. You're perfectly allowed to get that, but you can't follow in his footsteps. We need to go over to the right and pursue our own course. But as a level, I really enjoyed this level, not because it wasn't hard, but just because it was interesting and it's alien, and there's a lot of pretty cool level design here. So I'm going to grab these two boxes right here. And I'm gonna have to do some managing with the safe, but I'm gonna have to drop a couple of these small healing items since they're pretty worthless anyway. Going down here now, grab this box here, and then what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be grabbing some detonators and putting them into some cylinders that will ignite and blow up the rocks that stand in our way. This right here, though, you see the shadow? I thought that was a gulf that you couldn't traverse right there for the longest time, and it was vexing me. Definitely pick this up. Whenever there's a circuit that has +2 and +2, definitely pick those up, because a lot of them are +2 and -1, it's good to have the +2, but then you have to make a sacrifice. But anytime you can get a plus and a plus, there is no sacrifice you have to make. By the way, I just, back there, I did the high yield resource point for that bot. Gonna put this detonator into the cylinder, back off, it's gonna blow up. It doesn't have a huge detonation radius. And now I believe we get another little scene here. There he is down there, Danik. Danik's causing a whole hell of a lot of problems for us, so we're going to have to put him in his place promptly. Here's another detonator right here. We're going to be pulling 2 detonators out of this receptacle here. And there's no enemies, so don't worry about it. Even the sniper sights that we saw, don't worry about it. So back off from this one. Now we're going to go back and get... See, these refill. Even if you toss them off a cliff or something, they'll refill every time for you, so it's not going to be a game-breaking glitch. Okay, that's Carver over there, by the way. And that's not an enemy. Here's another box to grab. But this game has been so fun to play, and I love it so much. Oh yeah, that's scripted, by the way. I love this game so much that I'm seriously considering doing another higher degree of difficulty, hardcore, or the survivalist modes. But before I do those, I do want to do the Awakened DLC. So that's what you're going to see before I attempt a hardcore run or something of that nature, or a pure survivalist mode. And now we're split up, and we're down here in the pits, in these alien quarters over here. So just watch out. We're gonna have to face some enemies. Here's a Rosetta monster, and here are some exploders. So just take these guys out, back off. You know, use their detonations to wound this guy right here. But again, a couple of hits with the secret rifle, and these guys are dead. It's actually pretty sad how easy they are. I have a harder time facing those little mini exploders on the ground than facing those Rosetta monsters, to tell you the brutal and frank truth. Anyway, I'm just looking around for items. Oh yeah, this part up here, you see the waypoint directed me to the other way. And I'm just going over here to access a bench, and I think you can grab an item. I wouldn't stake my reputation on that. However, if you do go over here, you can access a bench, and you see how it says optional mission acquired. Even if you go over here, you don't have to do the mission. You can just go to the bench and then just go back. You don't have to do the mission. If I did do like a pure survivalist run, I would be doing all the optional missions. Definitely would be doing those. So there, I edited out all of the transactions I did at the bench. Now I'm going back. I'm going to skip that optional mission. Now heading back up here, going to go up this ramp right here. This is the way to go. And now we have another one of these puzzles right here. These puzzles are not that hard, and I'm not sure if it's because I have the subtitles on that they give you that little clue. You see the clue? Where is it? No, I did it too quickly right there. The next one I'll show you what it is. I think it's because I have the subtitles on. It's really making it so easy for me. Anyway, so those are the doors. Here's an item right here. There are a couple, a couple fights that border on challenging, but overall, I would not classify this level as a hard level whatsoever. So here we're turning the generator on. Looks like we have a marker in the background. Now these here, these are zero gravity points. So go on one and press the L2 button. The waypoint's directing us upward, so that's where we need to go. And this part is pretty tough because we have, hopefully I get that. Yeah, what do we have here? A +2. Yeah, that's another good one. We have lurkers, and whenever I do a sequence like this, it's not that I'm struggling because it's too difficult. And by the way, these are the advanced lurkers, the darker skin guys. It's just that even though I can hear these guys, like that guy I saw right off the bat, I saw that guy. But the next guy, that was a good item drop right there. But the next guy, I had no idea where he was. I could hear him playing his day, but I could not locate him for the life of me. And I kept pressing R2 to center myself, orientate myself as the game advises you to do so. But I always get lost here. I got lost in Dead Space 2 doing these zero gravities, and it just makes me, love how they did the gravity in Dead Space 1, where it was just point A to point B. You're on one side, you fly to the other side like Superman, and you could do like a twirl. See, that guy went into that little shaft right there, and I couldn't grab him. But yeah, if you want to see an impossible guide for Dead Space 1, I have one on my other channel. It doesn't have commentary, I apologize for that. But this is a really good game. I don't really understand why people are hating on this game so much. And I should be the one bashing on this game, being an extremely discriminating gamer. But I guess we'll have to see what happens as far as the ending and stuff like that. But even if it has a really crummy and cheesy ending, it's not going to make me hate this game, because thus far this game has been mechanically sound, it's been fun, it's been diverse, it's been unique. Sure, it's had a couple of sections where we've been backtracking in similar environments, but what Dead Space haven't we done that in? It's got the most beautiful and haunting sound effects and musical score to it. and it was worth every dollar that I spent on it. I spent $40. I probably spent around 75 all told. For the game I spent 60, or yeah, no, for the game I spent 40. Since I got it on Amazon at a bargain. It was 2 months after the retail release date, and I think I've spent at least like $35 on DLC. And some of you might be thinking that I'm a goddamn fool for doing that, but well, my response to that is, yeah, it is kind of foolish. But I have been recently. I've had recently. Like one of the recent things I had was like I had like 500 rations, and I went into the DLC place and I got so many resources just with the rations alone. But some of the items can't be bought with rations, and that's pretty much what I was buying with, real currency, the DLC, some of the suit packs and stuff like that. Okay, so here's another puzzle right here. Looks like the answer is written on the wall, but see how the subtitles? I don't know if that's a subtitle or not, or if it's just a hint. That would be interesting that would be an interesting thing to speculate on and test. So looks like we've exited zero gravity, and now these spots right here, these are not zero gravity. These are disc-shaped areas, like Isaac's saying, that enhance your telekinesis abilities, so you can shatter rocks and stuff. Don't miss this item. It's a very well hit item, and rightly so, because it has a +2 of both things. Another great item right there. There's no enemies down here except for those little exploders, and you could actually shoot these guys as they're coming down the wall, but I was wasting too much ammo doing that. But we are going to be fighting a couple of battles out here, but this battle, I wouldn't really call this a battle, quote unquote. It's just a little encounter with these guys. But when we come back here, we have to fight these guys plus the Rosetta. I was going to say the Rosetta Stone monsters, but we're not trying to learn different languages, are we? Okay, so now we're going to go up the lift, and there's kind of like a puzzle. It's kind of you manipulate things with your Kinesis module up here, and I just went for the straight up, let me go to the next section deal. You can manipulate these upcoming. I don't even know what they are. They're like pliable statues or something of that nature. But once you stand on here, then you can use the enhanced kinesis to move these things. And if you're having trouble seeing, knowing which way to turn these, just turn around completely and look at the wall as I do here. Now, the one on the left is the one that's just gonna let you go to the next section of the game. I honestly don't know what the one on the right does. If it gives you an optional mission, or if it gives you special items or resources. If anyone knows, I would actually appreciate a comment along those lines, just to let me and others know what that actually does, because that to me would not be a spoiler. But anyway, you see how we turn those things properly, and we got that thing to rise up. Now we got a cutscene, and now fortunately we get a checkpoint. So every time, if you die, you're gonna start up here, right over here before you go down the lift. And I didn't even take a single hit over here. And there were times where I took so many hits that it was like I was using like 5 med packs. But it just goes to show you, sometimes you get a really good run. Equip the Seeker rifle. Very important. And I like to just go over here to the right where these guys spawn and just see how they spawn right there. Stasis. One. I missed a couple of shots. Stasis him again. And once I see the item falling out of him, I know he's dead. Stasis this guy again. You've got to do this fairly quickly, because behind you is going to be another Rosetta monster. But, I mean, look how powerful this gun is. It's just ridiculously strong. So, it looks like the exploding little bugs, they only accompany this last Rosetta monster. But, I mean, with the Seeker rifle, this is a piece of cake. It really is. It's actually laughable. And now I'm going to collect all the loot. I have some safe work to do, depositing some items, dropping some items over here, but I'm not going to, waste everybody's time by doing all that on camera. I'm just going to do it off screen. I'm going to pick up all like the scrap metal and the transducers. Those don't count for your inventory, by the way. You probably knew that by now. Sorry if I sounded patronizing there. I was trying to throw this guy off the rail. Anyway, so once you've situated yourself properly, deposited all your stuff at the safe, and now we're going to be going up this ramp, and we're going to be doing a flying section. And I don't know if you can die here. I honestly don't. It doesn't seem like it's like the prior flying sequence in this game that was on like chapter 3 or 4, where there's just a bunch of rubble all over the place, and like part of buildings that you can hit here. I mean, you can move around, which tells me it might not be scripted. But on the other hand, I mean, I don't think there's any way you can possibly die there. So now we're going to be doing another puzzle up here, and also we're going to be going into another room where we can get a bunch of free stasis by going on the little spheres on the ground. The only thing I'll say about that is that yes, they give you like supercharged stasis. It's like using those stasis containers in Dead Space 2 that stasis the enemies even longer. So you see, watch my stasis on my back. It does not go down. This is free stasis right here, and it stasises these enemies a lot longer than it normally would. But you also should observe, though, that at about this point, my stasis is declining, and that's because even though you are given a free, some free uses of the stasis over here, it's not unlimited. So you probably get about one free, full use of your key gauge for free, where it doesn't start detracting from your key gauge. But I actually experimented with just going around the corner, and I had no issues with this. This is just kind of just a little extra, a little unique part you can do in the game. You shouldn't have any problems here. And we're also going to be going on another one of these spheres and dealing with slasher enemies, and we get the same kind of treatment where we get a free batch of stasis. I think the slasher fight's harder than the kids. The kids have never been a problem for me. They're just annoying. They really are. Another 2 and 2. That's really good. I'm gonna have to apply that next time I get to a bench. We're nearing the final stretch of this game, by the way. We only have 2 more chapters after this. So right now I'm going to go to the high yield. I believe I do. Yeah, right here. This is right next to the door. So when you come into the main room, just head and take a right. That's where that is. If you can't associate that with a location on the map, that's exactly where it is. I don't think you would get a checkpoint over here, honestly. So we're going to be standing on here, and this was the first time I got here. See, it says use kinesis to instantly stasis these slashers, and this was actually like I said, the first time I got here. I thought I was going to be dealing with more kids, so I didn't know these guys were going to creep up on me so quickly. And I'm just using the plasma cutter, and I have been incrementally getting this thing's damage up. I don't have the maximum number of clips for this weapon. I think I have at least 1 or 2 stats all the way up for the plasma cutter. Not too sure what I'm missing, but if I know, you'll be the first one to find out. So I took a bunch of hits right there, but honestly, I've got like 50 medium stasis packs, not only in my inventory but in my safe. So fortunately I didn't get hit right there. That was nice. And got a nice item drop, so pick up all your loot here. And that's the last battle of the game. Or, excuse me, the last battle of this chapter. And I've got to admit, this was a really fun chapter that I enjoyed. So we're going to go up here now. Nothing much else to do in this room. And I believe you just go through the door after solving this puzzle here. And then I'm going to see you guys in chapter 18. It's entitled Kill or Be Killed.